Hello friends, welcome to my kitchen. In a deep bowl, crack 4 eggs. Whisk them slowly. The gentle rhythm of the whisk always feels calming, like quiet mornings, when the kitchen was the warmest place in the house. Friends, it's wonderful to know where you're watching from. Share your city and country, and US friends, tell me your state as well. Finely chop 6 to 8 cherry tomatoes. As the knife moves through their glossy skins, they release a bright, fresh aroma. These little tomatoes are full of vitamin C and lycopene, supporting heart health while keeping the dish light. Feel free to ask any questions about the recipe in the comments, and I'll get back to you as soon as I see them. Add them to the bowl. Then, chop 1 bunch of fresh parsley. The sound of the knife through those soft green leaves always feels like the last quiet step before everyone gathers at the table. That simple handful of herbs many of us remember being sprinkled over dinner by careful, loving hands. Thank you for being with us, dear subscribers. You can now support our channel by becoming a sponsor and enjoy early access to new videos. We truly appreciate your support. Add it to the egg base. Mix again until everything is evenly dotted with vibrant green. Now add 3/4 cup or 200 grams of sour cream. Then add 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. Whisk thoroughly until the mixture becomes smooth and velvety. Sour cream adds gentle creaminess along with calcium and beneficial fats that help the body absorb nutrients, making the dish both nourishing and satisfying. If you found this video helpful, please consider liking it. It's a simple way to show your support. Next, heat a little vegetable oil in a frying pan over medium heat. Slice 2 large potatoes into medium-thick slices. Take your time so they cook evenly. The sight of these simple potato slices always feels familiar and reassuring. The kind of ingredient that quietly filled our kitchens with warmth on ordinary evenings when everyone gathered around the table without hurry. Lay the slices in a neat, even layer in the pan. Add 1 teaspoon of salt. One teaspoon of paprika. Mix carefully so every slice is coated in spice. Fry for 5 to 7 minutes until the bottoms turn golden. Flip the potatoes gently and cook another 5 to 7 minutes until tender inside and crisp around the edges. The color alone already makes the kitchen feel inviting. Lower the heat to minimum. Slowly pour the egg mixture evenly over the potatoes, letting it settle into every space. Cover with a lid and cook gently for about 15 minutes. The eggs slowly firm up, holding everything together into one comforting layer. Now, grate 2 to 2.5 ounces or 50 to 70 grams of Parmesan. It is naturally rich in calcium and protein, and just a small handful brings depth, character, and that unmistakable savory finish that lingers in the best way. Next, carefully flip the egg layer so the top can brown lightly. Sprinkle the Parmesan evenly across the surface. Finely chop a small bunch of parsley. Scatter it over the cheese for freshness and vitamin K. Cover again for 5 minutes until the cheese melts into a soft golden blanket. Meanwhile, grate 1 medium onion. As it softens on the grater, its bright, slightly sharp aroma fills the air, the kind that makes you blink for a second and then smile, knowing a real homemade meal is on the way. Transfer the grated onion to a large bowl. On a mini grater, grate 2 cloves of garlic. That warm, unmistakable scent rises immediately, the very smell that used to draw everyone into the kitchen, asking, "What's cooking?" Garlic not only deepens the flavor beautifully, but it has long been valued for supporting the heart and keeping the immune system strong. Add it to the bowl with the onion. In a separate bowl, place 1 ounce or 30 grams of breadcrumbs. Pour in 1/4 cup or 60 milliliters of milk. Let them soak for 2 to 3 minutes. Then add the softened breadcrumbs to the onion and garlic. Add 1 pound or 450 grams of ground beef. Crack in 1 egg. Add 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of paprika. Mix everything gently with your hands until smooth and uniform. Mixing by hand allows you to feel the texture. It should be soft, but hold its shape. Now, form small patties about 3/4 inch or 2 centimeters thick. Heat a little vegetable oil in a frying pan. Place the patties into the pan and cook 4 to 5 minutes until a golden crust forms. Turn them carefully and cook another 4 to 5 minutes until browned and fully cooked. That gentle sizzling and steady browning always bring back memories of standing on a chair beside the stove as a child, waiting impatiently for the first patties to be ready. When the patties are ready, remove them from the heat. Then cut the potato and egg casserole into portions. The surface is beautifully golden, the edges lightly crisp, and inside it looks tender and layered. Simple ingredients transformed into something warm, generous, and deeply comforting. Place a warm slice onto a plate. Add the juicy patties beside it. The golden potatoes, tender egg layer, melted cheese, and flavorful patties come together beautifully, balanced, nourishing, and full of warmth. This is the kind of meal that feels generous without being heavy, comforting without being complicated. I hope this recipe brings comfort, good memories, and warmth into your home. Thank you for cooking with me today, but don't go just yet. There's another cozy and tasty recipe I'd love to share with you. In a large bowl, add about 1.5 pounds or 700 grams of ground beef. Now grate 1 red bell pepper on a coarse grater. Red bell pepper is rich in vitamin C, and it brings a gentle freshness that lifts the dish instead of weighing it down, adding brightness and balance that feels just right for a home-cooked family meal. Then grate 1 onion on the same coarse grater. This step always feels a little nostalgic, the quiet sound of grating, the familiar aroma in the air. Friends, I always enjoy knowing where you're from. Please share your city and country, and if you're in the US, let me know your state. Next, place a sieve over a bowl and strain the grated vegetables through it to separate the juice. Do this slowly, without pressing too hard. This step always reminds me of quiet kitchen moments, when nothing is rushed and everything has its purpose. We want to save that juice. Don't throw it away. We'll use it later for the sauce. Add the strained vegetables to the bowl with the ground beef. Now, finely chop a small bunch of parsley. Fresh herbs always bring color and life to a dish, and parsley is rich in vitamins that support immunity and digestion. If you have any questions about the recipe, don't hesitate to drop them in the comments, and I'll reply as soon as I can. Add it to the meat. Next, finely mince 2 cloves of garlic. Garlic adds deep flavor and has been trusted for generations for heart and immune health. Thank you for being with us, dear subscribers. You can now support our channel by becoming a sponsor and enjoy early access to new videos. We truly appreciate your support. Add them to the bowl. Now add 4 to 5 tablespoons of breadcrumbs, then 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of smoked paprika, 1/2 teaspoon of ground coriander, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper. Crack 1 egg into the bowl. Now mix everything well with your hand. Mixing by hand helps you feel the texture. The mixture should be soft, not sticky. Take your time. This slow mixing always brings back memories of standing beside my mother at the table, learning by watching. Place the meat mixture in the refrigerator for 30 minutes. While the meat rests, let's prepare the potatoes. Cut 1.5 pounds or 750 grams of potatoes into large, even pieces. Even cuts help them cook at the same time, so the potatoes stay tender inside without overcooking, making them easier to digest and more gentle on the stomach. Friends, if you enjoyed the video, a like would be much appreciated. It's the best way to support me. Place the potatoes into a pot. Cover with water. Add 1 teaspoon of salt. Cover with a lid and cook until tender. Then in a small saucepan, add 4 fluid ounces or 120 milliliters heavy cream, 2 fluid ounces or 60 milliliters milk. Heat gently until hot, but do not boil. Warm liquids mix better into potatoes and give a smoother puree. Remove from heat and set aside. Now, check the potatoes by piercing one with a knife. If it goes in easily, they're ready. Drain the water completely. Mash the potatoes with a masher while they are still hot. Then add about half a stick or 60 grams cold butter in small pieces, letting each piece melt before adding the next. Cold butter gives a silky texture. Next, add 60 grams Philadelphia cream cheese. This adds creaminess and a gentle tang. Now slowly pour in the warm cream and milk mixture, a little at a time, until the puree reaches your preferred consistency. Add 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper and a small pinch of nutmeg. Mix well. Cover with a lid and keep warm. Now let's return to the meat. Form the mixture into even patties, just like you see in the video. Lightly wet your hands with water so the meat doesn't stick. As you shape them, move calmly and without rushing. This simple, familiar motion often brings back memories of family kitchens. Place the patties on a baking tray lined with parchment paper. Bake in a preheated oven at 425 degrees Fahrenheit or 220 degrees Celsius for 15 minutes. Now, take the reserved vegetable juice, add 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of chili sauce, 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Mix until smooth. After 15 minutes, remove the tray and brush the patties generously with the sauce. Return to the oven and bake for another 10 to 12 minutes until golden and appetizing. Next, in a bowl, add a few generous handfuls of salad greens. Next, slice 1 bell pepper. As the knife moves through its crisp flesh, it releases a gentle sweetness and a bright aroma. Bell pepper brings color, crunch, and natural vitamin C, which helps support the immune system. Transfer the slices into the bowl with the greens. Then, slice one cucumber into half rings. This shape keeps the cucumber juicy and tender, releasing a clean, cooling freshness. Cucumbers are refreshing and hydrating, which makes the salad especially pleasant and easy to enjoy. Add the cucumber slices to the salad. Slice one tomato into thin strips. Thin cuts allow the tomato to release just enough juice to blend softly with the dressing without making the salad heavy. Tomatoes add natural acidity and are known to support heart health. Gently place them into the bowl. Now cut one avocado into pieces. Its soft, creamy texture brings calm and balance to the salad, tying all the fresh vegetables together. Avocado is rich in healthy fats that help the body absorb nutrients from the greens. Carefully fold it into the salad so it keeps its shape. For the dressing, mix in a small bowl 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 teaspoon of mustard, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of oregano, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, pour the dressing over the salad and mix gently. Fresh vegetables like these support heart health and bring lightness to the plate. Now carefully take the patties out of the oven and let their aroma fill the kitchen. They are golden on the outside, tender and juicy inside. Place a few patties onto a plate. Add a generous spoon of creamy mashed potatoes, smooth, rich, and comforting. Finish the plate with the fresh salad, bright and vibrant, bringing balance and freshness to every bite. This meal is beautifully balanced and full of care. It's hearty without being heavy, nourishing without being complicated. The kind of food that warms the body, brings calm to the heart, and naturally gathers everyone around the table, ready to enjoy a quiet, satisfying moment together. Thank you for cooking with me today. I hope this recipe brings comfort, good memories, and warmth into your home.